All right, so we want to be able to identify what formula applies to our different problems. And so if you actually take a look at these problems, they look pretty identical, pretty similar. They're using the same numbers. So, our values for our variables would be, for the most part, the same. However, the challenge really comes into play with, what type of problem do we have? What formula applies? And so if you did not see, check out the video that explains the flow chart for determining our problems and our formulas that we use. That'll definitely help you out a lot. So if you remember from the flow chart, the first two problems or the first two formulas are definitely the easiest to identify: simple interest and compound interest, continuous compounding. Those two have those phrases in the problems. So regardless of the order that my problems are in, I always pause and I go, okay, let me see if I can find either the simple interest phrase or the continuous compounding phrase in the problems themselves. And if I can, I'm going to go ahead and identify those first. And so I'm going to look for first that simple interest phrase. And if I take a look here, I see it actually in my bottom problem here, that simple interest phrase. Therefore, this problem would be solved using simple interest. Then I'm going to look for that continuous compounding phrase because that's my other one that it's very obvious that that is the type of problem that we have. And I actually see that up in problem number 2, compounded continuously. And so I am going to use my continuous compounding formula. Now, I don't see those two phrases in either of my other 3 problems, so I know that I need to go to my flow chart. So I'm going to look at my first problem here, and I see that I have the deposit amount of $500. And so if I go back and I follow my flow chart, for the first one, do I know the deposit amount? Yes, I do. It's a $500 deposit. So I'm following this flow chart here, this arrow of the flow chart. And now I need to look at the rest of this. Is it one deposit or multiple? And so it's all based on the deposit. So I deposit $500 into an account. And so I do that just one time. So going back to my flow chart, yes, I know the deposit amount and it is a one-time deposit. Therefore, that is a compound interest problem. And so I'm going to use my compound interest formula for that one there. So compound interest. For my next one, the third one down here, it says, how much do you need to deposit now if you want to have $500 in an account? So for this one, how much do you need to deposit now? So I ask myself that first question. Do I know the deposit amount? And in this case, no, I don't know the deposit amount. And then it said, how much do I need to deposit now? Right now, and that is one time. So I don't know the deposit amount, and it is a one-time deposit. That is, what is happening? That is going to be a present single deposit there. So again, how much do I need to deposit now? I don't know the deposit amount, and it is a one-time deposit. So present single deposit. And then I have my last one here for this set of examples. I deposit $500, so I know my deposit amount. There's the first question. You deposit $500 every month. And so I know my deposit amount and I'm making those monthly deposits. So first, the deposit amount, yes, it is multiple deposits. Therefore, this one is a is a periodic deposit for this one. And there we go. That's our 5 equations we've done so far.